All of you, welcome back once again. And I got an amazing response in our health management app we have built in our internal community. A lot of good responses we have seen from the students. So if you haven't watched this particular video, make sure to watch this video till the end and understand that what exactly we have developed, how the entire health management is getting controlled with the help of the smart contract, transfer of the fund, buying of the medicine. So make sure to watch this. The project is almost ready. We have already published in our internal community. Soon the project will be live on the channel, so you can simply follow that. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can do the setup in the code structure because one of the students have facing the problem due to the RPC URL and setting the project in the environment variable. You can come back to the blockchain coder. There you will find all the resources which I have provided regarding this particular project. So come back here, go back to the source code section, and here you will find all the project we have on our channel. So you can simply come and you can search. So this is the project in which you will find the complete architecture of this particular project and the starter file. So you can simply click on this get now, and here you will come. You can simply click on this gets starter file. You will come back to the GitHub, and then you can able to understand the architecture we are following, the packages we are following, the requirement of for building this particular project. That's all is extensively highlighted here. You can also watch the final code and set up the requirement. That's all is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here and I'm going to simply download the final code. So now let me show you the complete setup for this particular project once you will get the final source code. So once you will download the final code, you will get the zip file. When you will extract that, you will get this particular folder in which you will have the complete source code of the project which you have seen right up here. Simply click on my VS Code and it's going to open my file. I'll click on this open. I can go back to download, and this is the folder which I have to open. Medical. Select that one and open in your VS Code. Now let me give you a complete walkthrough of the entire folder file structure we have utilized in this particular project, which we have built amazingly. So the very first folder you will find is the component in which you will have the complete component, the architecture we have designed for the particular project. So first thing is the global, in which you will find all the global component for the admin, for the doctor, for the patient, for the medicine, for the marketplace. So this one is the admin, in which admin will have the complete control over the application, like add medicine, all appointment, app user, doctor, patients, update. If you want to do any editing in the text, you can do that, but every single thing is dynamic. All you have to do is to simply change in the environment variable. So this one is the admin. We have the AI model section as well. We have the appointment model section. We have the authentication model. We have the chat model where user can chat with one another. We have the chat box. We have the data where we are testing with the dummy data. Then we are feeding the actual data in the component. Then we have the doctor appointment where you can able to see all the appointments for the doctor. Then we have the doctor details, doctor profile. We have the global header. We have the home component section in which we have all of this component. Then we have the invoice. When the user will buy the medicine, we have to generate the invoice for that. We have the medical history where we are simply targeting the prescription of all the medicine which is provided by different user and the feedback. Then we have the medicine section. Then we have the notification section. Then we have the order. Then we have the patients. Then we have the prescriptions. We have the profile. We have the regular. We have the shop, we have the sidebar, we have the staff profile, those who are working in the organization, and we are simply importing all the components and exporting right from here so we can utilize in our entire application. We are using the icon, some of the React icons we are using, and we are also using our custom icons like in the form of SVG. So every single thing is well architectured and we have understood and built this phenomenal application. So I'll go to simply close all of this. This is the component section. Then we have the context management. And this one is very important. When you will deploy your contract, you will get your ABI of your contract. And that's what you have to provide. So no matter what you change in your contract, if you do a single change, your ABI will change. And you have to provide your updated ABI whenever you will deploy your contract, updated ABI. Now come back to the constant. And here I have done the update. Like instead of copy pasting the addresses right up here, we are taking the addresses from our environment variable. So you don't need to make any changes. Every single thing is dynamic. You can see right now I'm going to test the application in two network. First, we're going to test on Ethereum test network. And second, we're going to test on Hostly test network. So if I show you, this is the configuration I have done. I'm using this particular provider for RPC URL, ANKR. There are multiple providers. You can go with Infura, you can go with Acmely, but this is the one which I'm using. You can simply visit this particular site. There you will find multiple blockchain RPC URL. And this is the same RPC URL you have to use it throughout the application, which I will show you where are the places where you have to provide. So first we're going to test on this Hostly. After that, we're going to go with the localhost. That's the first thing. And the rest will be fine. You don't need to make any changes. Simply close this one. We have the index in which we have built all the functionalities. So every single thing is dynamic. You don't need to make any changes. Just keep it as it is because all the variables which you can see, we are getting from our environment variable. So that's all dynamic. Simply close this one. Then we have the contract. Here you will find the details of this huge contract we have built. It's close to, let's say, it's going to be a 600 to 700 lines of code we have written, like 759 line of code we have coded. So every single thing is dynamic. If you want to change the pricing, so currently we are charging fee for the doctor registration, for the patient registration, and for the appointment. So you can also provide a different fee right from here, or we have a feature in the front end where you can simply update the fee. So that's what we have here. Looks pretty good. Then we have the page in which we have this two page. This is going to be our context management setup. Here we have the index. So you don't make it changes here. Every single thing is dynamic. It's a single page application. Then we have our public in which we have all the important files and folder images, CSS file. So just keep it as it is. Don't need to make any changes. Just let it be like this. Then we have the script in which we have the script which allows us to deploy the contract. So this is fine. Don't need to do anything. Just keep it as it is. We have the style where we are simply importing our CSS files. And we have written a couple of CSS which make us to make it more flexible and changing the styles. So just keep it as it is. Now come back to the most important things, the environment variable. So first come back to this .env. And these three information is very must. As I told you that I'm using this particular site for RPC URL. So it's going to be the main and it's going to be also the same as an optional one. And here you have to provide your wallet private key. So whichever account you are using, you have to get the private key and that's what you have to provide. Because whatever data we're going to provide right up here, we're going to utilize it in our Hardhat for deploying the contract. So you have to get your private key, which I will show you how you can get it. So the second environment variable we have for the front end side, .local. Click here and this is the environment variable we have to provide. So once we'll deploy the contract, we're going to provide the address. Here you have to provide your OpenAI API key and you can change the fee. Whatever fee you have decided in the contract, the same fee you have to update here. And first I'm going to test on Ethereum test network. After that, I'm going with the localhost. Here you have to use your account address, which you have used for deploying the contract. So if you are using on a text network for different wallet address, that's what you have to provide. And here you have to get your own Pinata API key and secret key, which I will tell you. Anyway, this will work fine, but it has a limit. After a certain limit, it's not going to work. So you have to generate your own API key and secret key. So this is the environment variable you have to change. Once you're done with that, everything will be working fine. So let's close this one. I'll show you everything. Just wait. Here we have the get ignore. Just keep it as it is. Here we have the Hardhat setup. And this one is important because when you are testing using Hardhat in our local environment, there are a couple of conditions which you have to fulfill. First thing you have to keep in mind that when you will run the Hardhat node, it's going to give you 20 plus account and you can use those 20 account only in Hardhat for making the transaction. You cannot use on the actual test network or you cannot use the actual account for testing in the Hardhat. That's the first thing you have to understand. And the second thing is that you have to use this particular node version 18.17.1. This is absolutely must because Hardhat is not compatible with other node version. If you will have other node version, it's going to unpack the entire package and it will not work. And by default, Hardhat will use this particular account when you will deploy the contract by default. So it will become the admin and it will have this much font. So here I have already given you all the Hardhat account, which Hardhat will give you when you will run the local node. So let's come back here and that's all you will find. And this is the network configuration you have to do in your MetaMask when you want to test your contract using Hardhat. So you have to get your name, RPC URL, which I will tell you. You have this is the chain ID which you have to use, and you can go with Ego or ETH as a symbol. And explore URL is going to be the empty. And the one condition I want to highlight that whenever you testing your contract using Hardhat and you are switching from one account to other, you have to clear the history of the MetaMask. Otherwise, the transaction will fail and you will get an error related to the RPC URL. And by default, Hardhat will use this account for deploying your contract and it will become an admin. The rest will be fine. Now, if you come back to the Hardhat config file, you don't need to do anything here because every single thing is coming from our environment variable. All the optimization I have already done. You can come back to here. You can see this is the configuration we have, which looks fine. If you come back to the package.json file, there you will find we have all of this command. We have this command for running the local node. We have this command for deploying in our local environment. We have this command for deploying on Ethereum test network. And we have this command for clearing all of this artifact and generated file, which I will show you. And we have this command for generating a static file. And these are the packages we are using. We are using the latest toolbox package, which is very optimized and very compatible. You can come back here, and here in the README file, you will find all the details about the requirement for running this particular project. So you can simply come back here. So how to download a VS Code, how to install Node version in your system, how to get a Pinata API key and secret key, how to get the starter file. That's all is provided here. So that's all you can simply check here. And I would suggest you to watch this particular video in which I have explained that how you can install Node version manager, which is stand for NVM, and that will allow you to control your node version to downgrade or upgrade. So we need a specific node version for running Hardhat and installing all of the packages. If you don't have NVM, you cannot able to do that. So you can check all of that. If you want to get the forset, you can simply visit there and you will find a tool which you can do that. You can use Remix ID. We are using this particular site for provider. We have an OpenAI documentation. From there, you can able to create your own key. That's all is explained. You can get a Pinata API key and some important links. I would highly encourage you to watch this particular video in which I have explained that how you can generate your key and provide here. So every single thing is looking good. Now I'm going to simply execute the project. So first thing, I'm going to test on my Ethereum test network. So for that, I have to do the changes, couple of things. So come back in the environment variable and I have to get my private key, which you want to use for testing your application. So first thing, I will get my private key and I'm going to get some fun in that private key so I can deploy my contract. So that's the first thing. So once you will come back here, go back to the resource section, then you will find that we have a tool called ETH Faucet. Click here and you will come back to this particular site, which allow you to mine Faucet and you can transfer straight away to your wallet address. So if I show you my wallet and if I come back here and I'm going to deploy the contract to the Ethereum test network hostly. So if I open here, I don't have that network right up here. So I can simply do the manual configuration of the Hostly test network. So simply click on it and you can give the details about the network which you want to configure. So I can simply come back here in the context constants and here I have done the configuration and this is the exact detail I have to provide. So first thing I'm going to give the name. So Hostly, and let's come here. Then we can simply provide the RPC URL. So we are using the same URL which we are using in our Hardhat environment variable, copy. And that's what I'm going to provide here and paste the URL. We have added the URL and I have to give the chain ID. So this is the chain ID I have and it's going to give me the required ETH is going to be the symbol and I have added this network. So click on this save and the network is added successfully. Now I have to simply switch back to the network. You can see that the network is added successfully and I already have this much fund in my account, which is enough for deploying your contract. But in your case, if you don't have the fund, you can use this site to mine. So all you have to do is to get the address of that account because this is the account I'm going to use for deploying the contract and I need the private key of this particular account. So first you have to copy and that's what you have to provide here. And we have to mine our faucet. So click on this start and it's going to take few seconds. So we have verified. Now click on this start mining and it will start the process. And you can able to find all the details that how much mine you have done so far and what is the hash rate is going on. So this might takes a little bit time. You can simply wait for 5 minutes to 3 minutes and it's going to give you close to 1 ETH. If you wait for 3 to 4 minutes, you will get 1 ETH, which you can use to transfer in your wallet. The mining is happening and if I open this, I already have enough fund. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply stop it. I'm going to simply stop it and I'm going to transfer this one. But I would suggest you to get at least 1 ETH as a faucet. So simply click on this claim reward and I'm going to get this much fund. So I'll simply click on this claim reward and it's in the queue. Once this process will complete, I will have the ETH transferred to my wallet. So just wait, it's taking a little bit time. And finally, the transaction is completed. If I open my MetaMask, you can see the fund went up to 8.1. So that's how you can mine. You can wait for 5 minutes and you will have more ETH into your wallet. So this is the account I'm going to use it. So I have to get my private key, go back to the account details, show private key. I'll give my credential and I'm going to press it hold. And I'm going to simply copy my private key. You don't need to share your private key with anyone. So once you're done with that, you have copied the private key. Now you can come back to your code and close this one. And you have to provide your private key here. So let me quickly provide it. So finally, I have provided my private key. Now I have to do the changes in the front end. So I'll simply come back here and I have to simply activate this one. So it's already activated because I'm testing on Ethereum test network. I can check all this variable. So this is the fund which I'm going to target. And this is what the fund I have in my smart contract. This is the fund I'm charging. So the fee is also good. In the front end side, the network is also good. Now you have to get your own Pinata API key and secret key. So we can use this particular site. You can come back to the details or you can simply come back, open a new type Pinata Cloud. And here you will come back to this particular site and it is really powerful. It will give you all the API key and secret key which you know to deploy to the IPFS. So simply create your account and verify your account. Once you will create your account for the very first time, it will take close to 6 hours to get activated. So I'll simply click on login, and here into my dashboard, and here you will find all the file which I have uploaded so far in this particular one. So you can come back to the API key. There you will find all the API key which you have generated. So recently I have generated all of this API key. So when you will generate your API key, it takes up to, let's say, like 2 3 hours to get activated. So you have to wait. So I'll simply click on this new API key. I can give a name. I'll say head, and I want to have the access of all of these features. So click on this admin, and from here you can able to set the limit. So although it's a free account, so I can create up to like 100,000 file, which is enough. So I'll simply click on this generate API key, and it's going to generate with the API key. And this is what exactly I have to provide. So I'll simply copy, and that's what I'm going to simply provide here as a API key. And I'm going to simply copy here, and that's what I'm going to provide here as a secret key. But this will take like close to 3 hours to get activated. So I'm going to use this one which is activated, and I'm going to simply deploy it. So make sure to provide all of these details. Now we are ready to deploy our contract. So what I will do, I'll simply come back here, open up my terminal, and first thing you have to check your node version. So if I show you my node version, I have the required one. I don't have the required one. I have the latest one. So I have to simply downgrade my node version to the required one, which is 18.17.1. Then I can able to deploy and install the packages. So I already have NVM installed in my system. So I can easily able to downgrade or upgrade my node version. I would encourage you to watch this particular video in which I have explained that how you can simply install NVM in your system, and you can downgrade and upgrade your node version. So you can simply come back here and watch this video as per your system, how you can downgrade or upgrade. So I'll simply open up my terminal. I'll check my node version one more time, and I have the latest one because this is the configuration I have done in my system. Whenever I will close this one, it will automatically switch back to the latest one. So I'll simply come back here, check the node version. I have the latest one. Let me downgrade it. So I'll say NVM use. The version name is going to be 18.17.1. This is one is the compatible one. Hit enter, and I have the required one. So if I say node -b, I have the required one. But the moment I will close this one, you will see that it will come back to the latest one. So I'll say node-b because this is my configuration I have. So you have to check your node version whenever you are running. So I'll simply downgrade it quickly, and I have downgraded it. Now I have to install the packages. These packages I have to install. So simply type npmi, and it will do the installation. That might take a little bit time because all of these packages is well optimized because we are using tons of things in this particular project. So just wait, soon the installation will complete, and we'll have our node modules and other folders right up here, and we can able to deploy our contract. For our node modules, and here we are getting a couple of warning, depreciate, simply ignore that because some of the packages we need in the required version to have a specific feature. So simply ignore these two commands, don't need to run it. Otherwise it's going to change the package module, and ignore this one as well. There's no problem in that. Now we have to simply clear our terminal, and we have to execute this particular command. So we have this command we have to execute to deploy on our Ethereum test network. So all I have to do is to simply copy this one and type npm run dev and hit enter. And it's going to simply compress and generate our artifact, and it's going to deploy our contract to Ethereum test network. So all the setup we have already done. You can see this is the command we are executing, and soon we'll get the artifact of our contract. So here our contract is compiled successfully. In this you will have the artifact, and here you will have that. So all we have to do is to simply replace with the updated one. So simply drag and drop here and call move and replace. So we got the updated artifact, and here we got the contract address. Simply copy that one. Now we can simply close this one, come back in the front end, and here we have to provide it. And I have already explained in this particular video, like I'm going to simply close this one, come back here in this video, that how you can generate your API key for OpenAI. So simply go. I'm not going to simply repeat the same thing. Simply go and watch this video. Till then you will understand what are the features we have included and how you can generate your OpenAI key. So that's our contract is running. Now I'm going to simply start the application, type npm run dev. And this is going to start our application on localhost 3000. Simply grab this portion, and you can see we got the next, all the artifact, everything is looking good. I'm going to simply minimize this one, close this one. Now I can simply come back here, open a new tab, and I'm going to paste the URL localhost 3000, hit enter, and it's going to start our application on localhost 3000. You can see it's loading, and finally our application is live. There it is. You can see it's automatically doing the network configuration we have provided. So simply click on approve and the network configuration is done. If I show you that I have this network configured, but what if I don't have this network configured? We have built this particular system in our project which will automatically add this network in our MetaMask. So what I will do, I'll simply delete this one to show you that how we have added the auto configuration. So I'll simply come back here, reload the page, and there you will find is going to open the, and you are getting this warning. Simply ignore that, click on this approve, and here we have added, the network is added successfully. We are using the same account. Now just give a reload. Once you will do that, it's going to do the testing of the wallet and it will say that you are not registered. Okay, every single thing is looking good. So this is what exactly you have to do. Once you add the network successfully, simply give a reload and it will be set and you have connected successfully. I'm going to simply clear my MetaMask history and reload the page. And it says that I'm not registered. So I have to first register myself as a doctor. And that's what I have explained in this video. So watch this. I'm going to register myself as a doctor so can I able to have the control over the entire application. So you as an admin, which account you have used for deploying, you have to use the same account for creating yourself as a doctor account. So I'll simply select this one and I have to fill out all this detail. So I'll go with Mr. and I'm going to say, let's say Diolak Hussain as a male, MBBS, and you can give the address. I'm going to give the same text. You can simply provide the actual detail because this data will go with verification to the admin. So I have to give my contact details. I'll go with this. I'll go with the email ID. Then I will go with the college name, college ID. Then you have to pick your joining year. So I'll go with this. I'll go with the ending year of my college. Then I can go with the specialization. You can give all of these details, college address. Then you have to give your wallet address which you want to use for your registration. So I'm going to use my wallet address because I'm the admin. This is the one. And I'm going to simply paste the wallet address here. And I have to upload my image. So I'll simply select here. And I'm going to go with this one. The blockchain coder, it's uploading. And you can see it's uploaded successfully. If you get any error, then you have to check your Pinata API key and whether it's activated or not. So it's updated successfully. I can give my text. So I'll say MBBS and I have provided all of these details. So you have to give all of these details. Now click on this add doctor. It's going to make a call. Registration is processed and our MetaMask is going to be open. And here we have it. So simply click on this confirm and the transaction is in the process. Once the transaction will complete, you will be logged into the application as an admin because you have to create your account for the very first time as an admin, as a doctor. So here I have created my account. You will find that I'm logged in successfully. I'm going to give a reload. And right now the dashboard is not reflecting because I have to provide the address. So what I will do, I'll simply copy the admin. This is the account I have used for deploying. Come back here. I'll go back to the front end and here I have to provide the admin address. Once I will provide that, then the admin will be reflecting fine. The moment I will give a reload, you will see the admin is reflecting. Now the dashboard is reflecting. So make sure to use the same account which you have used for deploying the contract. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So you will find all of these details which you have provided. You can go back to the patients. You can see the doctor. So you have registered yourself as a doctor. So you can simply approve yourself. So simply click on this approve doctor. It's going to make a call and you have to complete the transaction. So whatever I have explained, you have to do exactly the same thing. I hope you have understood that what exactly you have to do and how you have to do the configuration. So we have done the transaction successfully and I have approved myself. So it's taking a little bit time, just wait. So I'm going to simply reload the page and it will give me the details. So finally I can come back here in the doctor section and I have approved myself. In the same way, you can simply deactivate the doctor. That's all is explained. Make sure to watch this. In that I have explained the complete architecture even in detail by different transaction. So that's how you can deploy to the Ethereum test network and you can able to see all of that. So make sure to watch this. Now let me show you how you can simply deploy to localhost and you can do the testing using Hardhat. So come back here. I'm going to simply come back here. I'm going to simply replicate this one. Let me bring it back. I'm going to simply bring it back and I'm going to simply comment this one. And here I have to provide the address of the contract which I will get from localhost and I have to activate this one. I'm going to simply comment this and activate this. And here I have to simply get the address of the localhost which I will use. So this is the setup I have done for the localhost. So far looking great. Now I have to deploy the contract. So what I will do, I'll simply open up my terminal. I'm going to stop the application from running and now come back to the package.json file. So first command, we have to run this to start the local node. The moment I will close this one and open it up, you will see my node version is changed. This is very important because right now we are testing locally, so we have to use the exact node version. So I'll simply go back to the previous node version which I had. So I got my version. I'm going to simply clear up my terminal. Now I have to deploy the contract. And I want to show you one thing before I execute this command, that I already have the localhost configured. So I will click here and you will find that I already done the configuration of localhost in my MetaMask. So you can do the manual configuration as well. So if I simply click here, I can simply select the change the different network and I can simply delete this network. Delete this network. So right now I don't have localhost in my MetaMask, but I can add it manually. So to add manually, I can simply give the name and I can provide all of these details. So I can simply say local host. And now here is the point that right now you can see we have to provide the RPC URL. So we can simply come back here in the context and here we can come back here. And this time we are deploying to localhost. And this is the RPC URL we can use for our localhost. Simply copy that one and I can simply paste here. But the moment I will paste, it will throw me an error. It will throw me this error because our local node is not running. Local node is not running. So to add the network manually, you have to run the local node. After that, you can able to add this one. So come back here and let's start the local node. So what I will do, first thing I'm going to run the local node. So I can simply come back here, run this particular command. So simply type npm run node, hit enter. It's going to start our local node. This is the local node RPC URL, we got it. And it will give you 20 plus account, which we can use to test our contract. And this account can be only used in our local environment, not in the actual network or actual test network. You can use only in Hardhat environment. And by default, it's going to use this particular account for deploying the contract. Now it's running. I can simply copy that. It's the same RPC URL which we have. So I can simply come back here. Now I'm going to simply open it up one more time and I can provide the details. So I can simply come here, add, and if I give a chain ID and click on this save, right now I'm not having this issue because our local node is running. I hope you have understood. I'll give the details, local host. I can give the chain ID. So we already have that details. I can come back to the constants, copy this one, and that's what I have to paste here. It will say ETH, select ETH and save it. We have said ETH. Now I can simply come back here. I can change this to ETH as well because it suggested ETH. Perfect. And the rest will be fine. Now we have added the network successfully and now we are ready to test our application. So every single thing is looking fine. Now we can simply deploy our contract. So come back here and now we can check the node version. So I have this different configuration because deploy the contract. So I have to execute this particular command. So I can simply come back here, what it's called, deploy local. So simply back here, simply type npm run, give the command and hit enter. And it's going to simply deploy our contract locally in our system. So just a moment, soon the deployment will complete and you will get the address of the contract. So it's happening and just a moment. And finally it's compiled and we got the address. Simply copy that one and you can come back to the environment variable and that's what you have to provide here as an address. Got it? We got the address, we got the network configuration done. Looks fine. Now I can simply start the application. Simply type npm run dev and make sure this should be running. Hit enter. It's going to start the application and it's running on localhost. Now all the setup is already done. Now we can simply come back here in the browser, open a new tab and click on this localhost. It's going to simply open our application in our local environment and here you can see, here we got it. Now it's automatically popping up this, simply click on confirm and we are connected. Now the moment you will reload, it's going to give you this registration page. And this is what you will see and you have to register yourself as an admin. But if I want to remove this configuration, our application is already ready to do that. So what I will do, I'll simply switch and I can simply come back here and I can simply delete this one and reload the page. Our application will automatically add this network in our MetaMask. So here we got it, click on this approve and the network is added. And right now you can see this true account is my actual account. So I cannot use this in my Hardhat. I have to use the Hardhat account. And you can see the application is displaying, but it will not work. We have to simply provide the accounts. So if it will give you 20 plus account and by default, it will take this very first account. So let me simply copy the private key of my wallet and that's what I'm going to provide. And this is going to be the admin. So let's click here, import and import. And we have added successfully this particular network. Click on this connect and you will see that we already have this much fund. This much fund is there. If I click on here, it has little less fund because we have used the same account for deploying the contract. So every single thing is looking good. I can use the other account in the same way I can use all the Hardhat account and perform different transaction. So I can simply click on here, import account, paste it and import, and we have added. Click on disconnect. So I've added and it has full fund. So let me come back here and I'm going to simply clear my history, advance. And this is all you have to do as an admin when you will start application. So here it's loaded, not register myself. And I'm going to use this account because this is the account I have used for deploying the contract. So I'm simply copy the address. And that's what I have to provide in our environment variable, like here in the admin address. Then I can able to have the access of the dashboard. Perfect. Now we have provided all of these details. Let's go and make the transaction. Let's review the page. And here we are. Let's provide all the details. So first I have to register myself as a doctor. I hope you haven't forgot that. I'll say DULAT and Hussein. I can give the mail MBBS. Simply copy and let's provide the same details, but you have to give the actual detail because this data will go for verification. I'll give the number, I'll give the email ID, specialization ID, and you have to give the address. Now you have to give the void address, the same thing. So this is going to be the admin and I'm using this account and that's what I will paste here. And I have to upload my file. I'll go with this one. It's uploading. Once I will upload the successfully, it will give me this option and I can give this address. Let's click on this add doctor and I will add myself as a doctor because I'm an admin. Click on confirm and here we are. So I will have the actions of the dashboard. I can come back to the doctor and I can approve myself as a doctor. Let's click on approve because this is the what you have to do when you will launch the application. You have to register yourself as a doctor, an admin, and then you will find all the details, all the notification, all the transaction which you have made. So every single thing is looking fine. You can make all the transaction, all the creation of the medicine. That's all you can do. So this is how you have to do the setup. This is how you have to do the setup. I would suggest you to watch this in that we have checked every single function. I have to show you that how you can do the transaction. I've understood that how you can do the setup of the final source code, both in the test network and the main network. And that's the only thing I want to cover in this video. So hope you have understood. Now, if you want to deploy this application, you can do that very easily to Netlify. So you can simply come back here and we already have this command. And this is what we have to execute. So what I will do, I'll simply open it up and I'm going to generate the artifact. So I'll come back here and I'm going to activate the actual network where I have deployed the contract because I cannot use localhost on the production. I'm going to activate because this is the network contract I have deployed to the Ethereum test network. And I have to also give the actual admin address, which I have to provide. So I'll simply activate this one and I'm going to simply comment this one. I can simply change this to ETH. There is no problem. And I can simply provide the address, actual address. So this time I'm going to get with the actual address, which is the account number 1, which I have used. Simply copy. And that's what I can simply paste here. And the rest will be fine. Got it? Every setup is done. Now we can simply run this particular command. This one. So build command we have to run. So open it up. Type npm run build. And hit and generate the static file for our project, which we can simply upload to Netlify. So just give few seconds. It's going to generate the folder for us in which we'll have the complete code of our project. So here it's collecting the data and generating the file for us. Soon this process will complete and here we are. So finally we have generated our static file. Here you got the out folder in which we'll have the complete source code of the project and all the folder and files and CSS. And this is the folder we have to upload. So let me quickly come back to Netlify. So I'll simply open a new tab. Type Netlify. Netlify is a free platform which allows you to upload the application. Click on this and make sure to create your account from GitHub or you can use your email ID, but I already have my account through GitHub. So I'll simply log into that. I'll click on login and here I'm into my dashboard. There you will find all the project which I have deployed and in your case, which you have deployed. So here you will find multiple options. You can import the code from GitHub, but I will go with manual deployment. Click on this and I come back to download and here I have the folder. And this is the one we have generated output. Select this one and click on upload. Upload. And it's going to upload the code to Netlify. And there you will have the complete details. So just a moment. Soon the code will upload. And here we have redirected to our dashboard. You can see the upload is completed. Now you can simply come back to the site configuration. And here you can change the name of your URL. So I'll say Health DApp. TBC, the blockchain coder. I click on save. And once I will save, the URL is changed and I can click on this and it will take me to the actual where I have got the URL and you can see the application looks fine. Now I can simply click on the network. It will automatically switch. It's also looking good. Now I can register myself. So I've already done the registration. It looks good. Now I can simply come back here and I can click on logout and simply open it up and it's going to open the MetaMask. So let me quickly connect and click on connect and I'm connected. You can see I'm getting all of these details from the contract which I have already deployed. So this is the exact thing you have to do, which you can able to find all of this. And now the application is live where you can able to track all these details and call of this function. You can also register a doctor manually and you can provide all of these details, or the doctor can register themselves by following that. You can able to find all of these details. So that's the only thing I want to cover. I hope you have understood that how you can do the setup when you will get the final source code and what are the things you will get in the project. So make sure to follow the complete project, this one. You will understand every single thing that what are the extra feature we have included in the project. You can simply control the entire styling of the application. That's all we have. So watch this. This will give you a complete architecture understanding. So that's the only thing I want to cover in this video. I hope you have understood that what's coming up in the project. When the project will be live, you can simply follow that. With that, I mean this. Have a wonderful day. Bye.